You're listening to Tapped In, Buncombe County's half hour to empower on WRES 100.7 FM in Asheville. Listen up and get tapped into local important resources, information, and topics. Learn more about the topics of today's show at buncombecounty.org. Okay, it's time to get tapped in. Hello, and greetings to everyone. Happy 2024. If you're listening to my voice, you know this is Tapped In. And I am one of your hosts, Zakia Bell Rogers.
And I'm Leonard Jones.
And Leonard and I come to you from the Communications and Public Engagement Department of Buncombe County, CAPE.
Today we will highlight how Buncombe County's Procurement Department has established a vendor supply portal. And joining us today is Ronald Venturella, Buncombe County's Procurement Manager. We will share more about this resource and how the community can participate. Welcome, Ron.
Thank you, Leonard.
Well, Ron, like we always like to do, we always like to give our guests a moment to tell folks who they are. So tell us about yourself so our guests know who they're talking to.
So I think as we were speaking earlier before we went on the air, I wasn't born in the area, but I did grow up in Buncombe County. Moved here when I was 8 years old, and I've spent most of my time in the county. I went out to Western Carolina for college, and of course, eventually moved back here, and now married and raising a family in the area.
All right, awesome. So tell us about your position in the procurement division.
Okay, so I'm the procurement manager for the county, as Leonard mentioned just a second ago, and I supervise the procurement division, which is made up of 4 individuals, which includes myself, and it's part of the finance department. And really the purpose of the procurement division is to help the other departments in the county carry out purchasing, contracting with suppliers, and being sure we follow any procedures and policies and statutes that are required in purchasing those items and services.
Okay, so exactly why are we here today? Like, what are you here to tell us about?
So I would like to inform the public about our new vendor portal and invite vendors and businesses to log on to that portal and register with the county. And how they could do that is either by going to the county website, buncombecounty.org, and then going to the procurement page it's listed underneath services on the website, or they could just go online and search for Buncombe County Procurement, and that should take them to the procurement page where they can register on the vendor portal.
So when community come in and sign up on this portal, what benefits is it for them to sign up on a portal?
So the portal will allow the companies to identify themselves if they're historically underutilized business. And then will also allow them to identify what type of goods or services they provide by identifying their merchant code, which is a universally used list of numbers and descriptions of the goods and services. And then we'll use that information to help with determining who to send out our bidding solicitations to, and then be able to track that information. But not only will we be using that for solicitation and for use as actual vendors, but we'll also use that information to notify local businesses about upcoming training and outreach events. I think a good example is the Reparations Summit that took place last October. We would use a list like that for any similar events or upcoming events to invite those businesses, notify them about things like that.
Oh, cool. So I heard you say historically unutilized businesses. So what do that mean? Is that the same thing as minority businesses, MBEs, that a lot of people used to hear about?
Correct. It's actually one and the same.
Okay.
So those businesses are your smaller businesses in the area. I think most of those are made up of small businesses. They would be Black-owned business, Asian American-owned businesses, individuals with disabilities. If they're owner of a business, that would qualify as well.
Oh wow, and that's, when folks think of minority, they usually think of drinks, but it goes so much further than that.
Exactly, and that's why we try to use the term historically underutilized more than just minority, because it encompasses more, and more individuals and more businesses.
And that's so important because at Buncombe County we are big on
equity in
Right.
our community and making sure that our folks are thriving and not just surviving, that we are giving them the tools so they can thrive in the community. And so
Right.
that is awesome that is in our plan now. So what is the best way to contact you? Like
Right.
if they wanted to do this, but they got on the portal and they was like, this is not it. So how do they get in contact with you?
Right, yeah. So if they can't find the portal or if they're having problems with it, the best way would be to contact me using our email address, procurement@buncombecounty.org. That email address doesn't just come to me, but all the members in the procurement division, and that way with it going to all the members, we'd probably be able and should be able to reply swiftly and quickly to those emails.
How many people are on your team?
4 total.
All right, so you hear that, guys and girls out there, ladies and gentlemen, that when you're on this email, if you send one, there are 4 people who are going to get this email and they're going to be able to help you. So don't be afraid that your email is going to get lost in the shuffle. Get out there and get that information that you're looking for. Leonard.
Yeah, so my next question is, so if I'm a business owner or I sell product, how do I become a vendor with the county? What's that process? So what are some of the key things I need to have to set myself up as a vendor with the county?
Well, the best way, of course, is what I'm here to talk about today, is to register on the vendor portal. And when you're registering, you wouldn't be identifying yourself, as I mentioned earlier, as not just your MCC or if you're a hub business, but you also will include any contact information to help us contact you. And then I think it's important to remember, by registering on that portal, it doesn't mean that you're actually guaranteed to become a vendor, but what that does, that puts you in that pool for us to be able to identify you and invite you. So, and it helps us let us know that you're out there, that you exist.
Okay, so if someone is a food vendor, do you, and you might not have the specifics right here, and if not, we'll do a follow-up interview when you can come in with those things. But if someone is a food vendor, what type of things do they need to do after they register?
Right, good question. So again, I would recommend following up with an email to procurement@buncombecounty.org and letting us know what you provide, and then we could forward that email onto whatever department that we believe you would be using your services.
Yes, because we do know that is something that we do. We have a lot of meetings, like myself and Leonard, and community engagement. We have a lot of meetings where we're with the community, and we do provide meals sometimes, especially if it's late in the afternoon or early in the morning. We try to make sure we are accommodating folks, and so those are very important. So
Can I ask a quick follow-up question around that? So it's with the vendor portal as well. So once I set myself up, is there ways that I can go in and update it as things change, or is it once it's set up, I have to get in touch with procurement? Correct any changes.
Thank you for that question, because that's another benefit of that portal, is that the businesses will be providing their own sign-on and password, and so they'll be able to go in and update their information as needed.
Cool. Thank you.
So does procurement have other responsibilities?
Yeah, a few of them that we have that aren't purchasing related are one is record and retention disposal. So procurement division, we actually have a storage facility where we keep our paper records, because even in today's time, we still have to keep some paper records, and so we'll assist departments with the storage of those records and disposal of them when retention period have expired. Another is the sale of surplus goods and equipment. When something such as maybe like a computer or a vehicle has outlived its useful life with the county, but still has some value, procurement will take possession of that item, and then we will put it on a government bidding website and sell that, and then those funds will go back into the county, into a lot of times the general fund.
So with those surplus items, where do people go to see those?
So we post those on GovDeals.
GovDeals.
GovDeals, yeah.
Okay, because everyone's always looking for a new computer. So,
Right.
so, how can someone? Well, when do you have to bid out purchases or contracts? Like, how does that work?
So that's a good question. A little procurement lesson here for
Yes.
everybody. So a lot of people in the procurement industry or service will say it depends. And there are three factors that I always will ask department when they say we have something to purchase. I'll ask them, what is the expected cost, or what do you have budgeted for the cost? What's the funding source? Meaning, is it funds that we have received from the federal government that we're going to use, from the state, or is it local funds, and what's being purchased? Is it goods, services, construction? And then based on those factors, procurement's like, okay, here's the process that we're going to need to follow to purchase those goods. So for example, say if we have a need for an architect, engineer, or a surveyor, those three specific services, we have to carry out a request for qualification. And so what that means is we ask for them to provide on a proposal or a submittal what their qualifications are and experience. And we'll base that just on qualifications. At that point in time, we don't even ask what the cost of the service is. And then we'll determine the most qualified, and then we'll negotiate cost with that firm. Now, say we have a construction project, and that construction project's $500,000 or greater. We call that a formal construction bid. And we would receive sealed bids, and we'll open those, and that would be awarded to the lowest bidder, taking into account, of course, be sure they're a licensed general contractor and they're able to provide those bonds. So there's a few examples of different types of bids and how we carry those out.
So where can community find current bids or current opportunities that's out there with the county right now?
So right now, they're listed on the procurement page. A few that we have out right now, off the top of my head, of course, I think of the big ones that are out. Others we just recently posted for contracting for residential waste pickup. We're going to be that's out to bid, and we'll be doing a new contract for that. I think early 2025. So, and then another big one that is out is the feasibility study of the merging of the two public school systems here, Nashville City Schools and Buncombe County Schools. And so we have a request for proposal for a firm to carry out that study, the feasibility of the merging of the two school systems.
And so if I'm someone in the community and I have a business, and like some of those larger projects, I know I may not have all the capacity. How do I still kind of throw my hat in the ring, or how do I make those connections to be potentially a subcontractor?
Right, good question. So yeah, you'd still want to go to the vendor portal and register and identify that service that you provide, and we would notify you of a bidder solicitation that's out, so that you could contact us and we could identify parties that are interested in bidding, and so then you could let those companies or corporations know that you're interested in providing services for them, or come to what we would call like a pre-submittal meeting, a pre-bid meeting, and then introduce yourself to the firms that are there that are going to be bidding on the project.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Right.
Yeah, so that's almost it's like a match
Right.
program. So in general, like that would be like someone, just giving you all an example, that would be someone like a contractor, like maybe someone who has like a dump truck company, and they're going to need someone to take the I hate to say trash,
The waste.
the waste away.
Yeah.
So that is something they could throw their bid into and meet.
Well, because as those construction companies are building their bid, they're going to be contacting and talking to the subs to get numbers from them to put their bid together. And so like the waste removal, Porter John, construction sites need Porter John, they'll be getting quotes from those type of companies.
Those Porter Johns are scary. God, scary Johns. But yeah, so that's pretty awesome. So, so we're going back to equity. So what are your biggest equity goals in procurement?
As part of the county's racial equity action plan, one of our foundational goals is to support and encourage supplier diversity. And some of those actions are to create a procurement program and tools that ensure underrepresented groups are solicited and represented, with emphasis on local suppliers. Explore expanded subcontracting opportunities that we just discussed. Teach minority-owned businesses about vendor application process, which is what we're doing here today. And then maintain a database available for business of business owned by BIPOC individuals to use it in training and networking opportunities, which is what that vendor portal is going to help us to keep and to track.
And so, yeah, for the community out there, if you have a business, small business, it's just an opportunity. The county is trying to, center around equity and look how we can be a part of the process. So even if the project seems big, use this opportunity to sign up for this on the vendor and supplier portal, just so you can know, just have your name out there and be out there to meet with different organizations for your opportunity to be shared part of helping Buncombe County.
Yeah. So you have some upcoming events as well, right?
Right.
Well, we're working on some upcoming events.
I was with the help of both of you. We are working on some outreach events for procurement. Some of the locations that we're talking to is like the Burton Street Association, the Emma Association, and the East End Association. But if anybody's out there thinks of any other organization, association, or locations, again, email me at procurement@buncombecounty.org, and we'd like to add that to the list.
So this is, we're talking, just for if you just joined us, we're talking about procurement and how to access their portal. So can you talk us through the portal, or is it complicated, or
I hope it's not complicated. So it's really just some boxes you would check, and again, be sure you have some your communication information when you're signing on. So who do you want to be your contact for your business organization, and what email address would you like to receive information or solicitations from county procurement, things of that nature. Be sure you have that available when you're signing on.
And it's so important, because I know a lot of times, things happen to cell phones and phones in general. So if you have any changes, and sometimes we overuse our email, and then we start getting 5,000 different emails just of things that we've accidentally signed up for. And so we'll get a new email. So if you have gone to the portal and you have put your information in, and you don't remember, or you can't readily identify which email or number you put in there, just go back and check. It's so important, because you don't want to miss out on these opportunities that are happening.
Is there any documentation required when I sign up on a vendor portal, or is it more just informational?
It's more informational for us. It's to help us identify who's out there, and then invite them to any solicitations that we have, and then any type of training or outreach events that we have. So, and I think I should mention again that even if you don't think you have something to provide services that the county may use, or a good that the county may use, then still register with us, so we can be sure to invite you to outreach events that might just be for local businesses in general. Something I attended several months ago that the city and the county had together was how to help small businesses in the area receive loans. And so there were some organizations there to talk and offer assistance to small businesses within the area. So something like that is what we would use that for businesses that aren't necessarily providing services or goods to the county.
And you said something about trainings. Do you provide trainings? And if so, what kind?
Well, so I would say these upcoming events we have in mind that we'll be going out to the community is to share the vendor portal and go through the procedures of signing on to that. And then in the future, helping those that want to compete with bids and solicitations, help them be competitive with those bids. Because as a procurement and finance person and a county taxpayer, I like to increase that competitive pool, because the more competition it is, the more likely we're gonna be able to stretch our county dollars.
Yeah, and being able to access more people and, get more creativity as well. Just question, so do you all, I'm trying to find the word, coordinate with other organizations, maybe like Mount Bizwork or things like that, to help, like maybe someone is on the portal but they're not feeling very confident? Are there other ways? Do you all get referrals or coordinate with any other agencies to help business owners reach a level of confidence?
In fact, the last event I was talking about, I had a discussion with Mountain BizWorks about creating outreach events like that with them. And I've spoken with the city's equity inclusion office about events as well.
Yeah, that would be great.
So Ron, I was looking on the website and I saw something around that talked about a minority certification process. Can you explain that a little further?
So, and that reference is, I believe, is referenced in the state hub office, which is hub is historically underutilized businesses. And I think it would be good for any organization or business that's really wanting to spread or grow their business throughout the state. Because when you register with the state hub office, then you're putting your name out there throughout the state for opportunities for the whole state of North Carolina.
Yeah, so if you're out here listening and you got a business again, we don't only just have a county vendor portal, there's also a state, it's called the North Carolina Office of Historically Underutilized Business. So that's another way to kind of scale up and get your name out there a little bit more, and more networking and more opportunities.
And there's a link on the county procurement webpage to the state hub website.
And if you can't remember a procurement link, you can always just go to buncombecounty.gov and type in procurement in the search engine.
.org.
Yeah, I'm sorry, .org. I always want to make it gov. I always, and I apologize for that. I just wanted to be gov so bad. .org. Thank you for Professor Jones. .org. And type in the search engine procurement, and it will pop you right into there. So don't ever feel like you're nervous about getting on there, or what if I can't remember it, who was it? And if you ever want to revisit our shows or anything like that, you can always go on Spotify, and it's at Buncombe County Tapped In. And we're also on the YouTube channel, Buncombe County's YouTube channel, Buncombe County Tapped In, and you'll also get a chance to see what Ron looks like. and you can say, oh, okay. I know that. I might know that guy. Yeah, he looks like he's giving out information to so, Ron, we're almost out of time. So what I would love for you to do at this moment is to give community the information that you feel like is most important, that you want them to know in this last few minutes.
So remember that the vendor portal is out there for businesses in Buncombe County and Western North Carolina to use to sign up, so that we know that you're out there, so we can contact you either for solicitations and bids or training and outreach events.
So. Banner.
And I'd just like to say, just around the community, it's a new year, and it's a new way to just put yourself out there more. A lot of times people sit and complain that they've never been chosen, but let's make sure that we putting our hat in the ring. And because if you're not in the game, you never know what may happen. So I'm just strongly encouraging community to log on to the county's webpage at buncombecounty.org and look under procurement, and you'll find where you can sign up in this vendor portal. And as Ron said, it's a good way for them just to know what services you provide out there, and it's a way that they can solicit information to you and keep you informed on all the opportunities that Buncombe County is offering. And as we also mentioned with that North Carolina Office of Historically Underutilized Business, so always go to Buncombe County, but you always can just take a step further and you can upscale your business and go on a larger scale. So make sure you sign up for that portal on the Buncombe County website, as well as the state, in which you can upscale your business up in 2024.
Did you all see Leonard try to throw in some uplifting information? He's trying to take my spot. I want to say thank you so much, Rand, for coming and giving this information to our community. It is so important that we have access to information. And as we say, as long as you have access, it is up to you to use it. So as long as we're providing access, and there's a chance. So to all of those out there, I know we have so many resolutions and things of that nature, but I have one for you. A new year, a new to-do. So if you're out there and you have a business, this is something that you have to do. Go up in there, go to that portal, put your information in. What's the worst that can happen? You sign up for 10% discounts on clothes that you never buy all the time and give your email out. So let's give your email out for something real. And if you know someone, encourage them. This is a time that you need to reach out to all people who have businesses and just say, hey, you know what? I heard this. You know what? If you want to watch it, this is where it is. But get in the know. So from me to you, we are one Buncombe. And a new year, a new to do. And for you all to do what is best for community. You know what should happen. You just been tapped in.
Thank you for listening to Tapped In, Buncombe County's half hour to empower, here on WRES 100.7 FM in Nashville. Learn more about today's topics at buncombecounty.org. Otherwise, stay tuned for more great episodes coming up.